Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Mic'd Up with Mary, and I am Mary. And today we are going to talk about the EBT controversy that is all over social media right now. So, today I'm going to start with facts, and then we'll move into feelings. So, first thing, the program is not called EBT, the program is called SNAP. And SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. And that program is actually a subcategory of a larger program, which is called the USDA Food and Nutrition Assistance Program. So, SNAP is a subcategory of that larger program, along with WIC, which is Women, Infant, and Children, and also a third subcategory, which is called Child Nutrition, which is like the free lunch, free breakfast, and it also covers like senior meals for older adults who need food. So the program is SNAP. EBT comes from the idea that it is no longer what in my day was called food stamps. So food stamps was a little booklet that you got and it had like this fake looking money, and you used that money, you brought it to the store, and you actually gave them paper money. EBT is basically a debit card. So it is electronic benefits transfer. Okay, that's where EBT came from. So EBT is not the program is SNAP. All right. So the whole idea behind the USDA Food and Nutritional Assistance Program is to promote food security. And food security is defined as you're giving access to people to have enough food at any time to live an active and healthy life. Okay, so there are certain criteria that you have to meet to benefit from the SNAP program. So there's a minimum income that you need to meet your basic needs, and they define it based on who's in your household. So if you're an individual, the amount of money you would need to make would be around $16,000 to qualify for the SNAP program. And then there's a family of two, it's like 21,000. A family of three is like 26,000, and then a family of four is 32,000. Okay, so basically that minimum income is just the poverty line. That's what it is. It's the poverty line, and it's like, hey, you need to meet uh, this certain amount of money per the people in your household, and if you make less than that, um, so I believe it's to that level, that certain amount of money, and then less, uh, depending on how many people are in your household, you would be able to benefit from getting snaps. You would qualify to get snaps. Okay, so some more facts. The households that participate in snaps, they fall under two categories. You have earned income, which means the adults are actively working, but they're still not meeting that poverty line amount of money that they need to make for a household. And then you have people who have unearned income, which means they don't have a job, but they are receiving some other type of assistance, like Social Security, disability. And this group, the unearned income, is the majority of people who are on SNAPs. So they don't have a job. Okay, they're just receiving some other type of government assistance. All right, so then if you break it down according to age groups, the largest population of people who receive SNAP benefits are aged from 18 to 59. And then children would make up the next group, and then adults greater than 60 years old, 60 and greater. Okay. All right. So that's your facts. All of this you can find online. I went and researched the USDA Economic Research Service, got all this information. Okay. So I will always encourage people to get facts first. Okay. Before you jump into your feelings. All right. So the controversy right now, and it's always been a controversy. Okay. We just know more about it now because we have access to social media and people can get online quickly and talk about their feelings. Okay. But a long time ago, when you had food stamps, people were in their feelings about people getting food stamps. So now we're going to move into the feeling parts of this conversation. So I'm going to show you two videos of two types of people receiving these SNAP benefits.
You heard it right here. Yes, this is me. This is a 3K, 3,000 EBT queen. 7 kids, 7 different baby daddies. So what? I get 3,000 in food stamps. Yes, I love it over here. I will not give up this lifestyle. I love it. You hear me? Yes. And yes, I do have a full-time job. Yes, I do. Yes, I have a full-time job and I take care of my kids. They are well taken care of. Y'all be worried about the wrong thing, but you heard it right here. This is me, EBT Queen. Call me the EBT Queen right now.
PSA for anybody on EBT that has been paying for your nails, lashes, whatever it may be with their EBT card. You can only taking away junk food, sugary drinks. They are giving us all a time limit with how long we can be on EBT.
All right, so let's dissect these two videos. And I'm really not fond of like trying to put people on blast, but you know, these two people went on social media and put themselves on blast. So let's talk about the first lady. So the first lady states very proudly that she has 7 kids by 7 different daddies, and she gets $3,000 worth of food stamps. And she does state that she takes care of her kids and that she works full-time job. All right, so this is one of the issues that people have with a person like this. So there's already a stereotype that Black people are the majority of the people using the SNAP program, which is incorrect. That's why I showed you a white lady and a Black lady. So white people are going to make up the majority of people on the SNAP program because they're the largest population. So the largest population is white people in general. So of course they would be the largest group receiving SNAP benefits. Okay, so for the Black lady, this is just promoting a stereotype that gets people angry that you have women out here having children because they want to be on government assistance. Now, I don't know if this lady is receiving child support from these baby daddies. If she was, I don't know how she would qualify for SNAP because she would be getting an additional 7 checks a month, which should definitely move her out of the income bracket that would qualify her for snaps, but I don't know what the qualifications are, the income that you would need to be at to be a family of 8. I don't know. But once again, this woman is perpetuating a stereotype that it is a lot of baby mamas out here on the SNAP program. Now, believe me, I definitely feel for children who are born into situations that they did not ask to be born into. We don't get to pick our parents. We don't get to pick how our parents parent us. So I definitely do feel for children who are born into situations that they didn't ask to be born into. And I definitely have a heart for children because they are dependent on the adults in that household. And if the adults are not making good decisions, the children have to live with those decisions. All right, so let's talk about the white lady. This white lady is upset because she can no longer get her hair, her nails, her lashes, her general maintenance done with EBT. Now, we just said that SNAP is a supplemental nutritional assistance program. Getting your hair and your nails and your eyelashes, that's not nutrition. That's something that should be coming out of your pocket. I should not be paying for any woman or any man, because men can be on a SNAP program too, for you to get your hair done. That should be coming out of your pocket, definitely. And remember, this whole program is an assistance program, not a lifetime program. You are supposed to be using this money. So you're not pulling income from what you're earning at a job to pay for food, which means you would have more income to put aside because you're not using any of your income to pay for food. So it's supposed to help you. This program is supposed to help you dig you out of a situation that you got yourself into. It's not something that you're supposed to be on for the rest of your life. And I'm gonna tell you something about this white woman. Uh, Apparently, she's been on the program since she was 14. I think this is a lady who says she's been receiving EBT since she was uh, 14 years old. So she had her first child when she was 14. I'm believing that this is this lady. I've seen hundreds of videos where, people who are using the SNAP program and they're using it wrongly are, they're quick to say, oh, I've been on it since I was a teenager and I don't want to go work a job. And, that's the feeling part. And of course, this current administration is revamping the program. They're like, this age group, that 18 to 59, who should be out working and providing for themselves, they need to be out there doing that. They need to get a job. They need to be taking care of the children that they decided to bring into the world. And of course, I know people are going to be like, oh, well, now they're making it where people have to have children because they're eliminating the option to delete your children or to delete babies. But there's a step before that. It's called birth control. All right. So in Louisiana, and there's 11 other states who are revamping what you actually can buy on EBT. And what they're doing is they're cracking down on stuff that provide no nutritional value to your diet. So in Louisiana, they are eliminating candy, energy drinks, and soda. And people are having a fit. And even in some other states, they're eliminating prepared desserts, which means like snack cakes and, just is basically junk food. Now, this is the other issue. Because it has gone on for so long and people have been misusing that program and buying things that they probably shouldn't have been buying, especially the video with the white lady, that's driving me, because what the government should be doing is cracking down on businesses that are not related to food items taking EBT. You need to actively go in there and get that money back from people who are using their EBT card, and these businesses who are taking EBT cards for you to get your nails done, for you to get your lashes done. Like, that's what the government should be doing. They should be going in and going into those companies, those businesses, and getting their money back. And then I guarantee you those businesses won't do it again. Now, like I said before, I definitely have compassion for children. Adults who constantly make bad decisions, you have to live with that. You need to grow up. And if you weren't taught as a kid, now, believe me, teaching is not just sitting down with your child and saying, hey, this is wrong, this is right. Teaching is also how you're living your life. So if you're teaching your kid that it's okay to go out and make bad decisions because the government is going to catch you and help you out, you show that through your life. I really don't have a problem with the SNAP program, even though it is taxpayer funded, and I've never received it, and I pay taxes. I've never qualified to have an EBT card. But I know that there are people who are really living in poverty, and there are children who are living in poverty due to their parents' mistakes. So I don't really have a problem with the program. I do have a problem with people being on it for the rest of their life. They should be using that assistance to dig them out of the hole that they dug themselves into. And I definitely feel for older people who can't go out there and work a 40-hour week, and they need just a little bit of help with getting groceries. But see, that's also where it comes from. Now, remember, I've already said in a video that I am a Christian and I look through the world through a biblical worldview. I think the church is not stepping up and helping people who truly need help. Now, know this, in the church, we're supposed to help those in our church first, and then you go out into the world. Because you'll have people too who are like, every time they dig themselves into a hole through bad choices, they think they can run to a church that they're not a part of. They don't care nothing about God until they need something. And then they get upset when the church decides not to help somebody who's on the outside of the church. They're not even a member of that church, and then they get upset about that. Now, as far as eliminating candy, energy drinks, soda, prepared desserts, there are some studies that said there's a link between obesity and people being on the SNAP program. And then you have studies that say there's no link between obesity and the SNAP program. But there's hundreds of videos that I can show you where people are showing you what they're buying with their $3,000 of food stamps, where it's just, where's the food? Where's the meat? Where are the vegetables? Where are the fruit? And I know there's also the argument, oh, people in poverty live in these food deserts. A lot of people on EBT drive better cars than I'm driving. I'm driving a 10-year-old car and I work a job. And I'm not choosing to make poor decisions, financial poor decisions. So this idea that, oh, you shouldn't tell them what they should buy because there's food desert, which means they don't have access to fruit and vegetables. I really don't believe it's that. I think people are choosing items that have no nutritional value. And whether those people know it has no nutritional value and they ignore it, or they just don't know. Some people just don't know, like, how to make sound nutritional choices. So that could be part of the SNAP program. Hey, you need to go through a class and this is how you pick, should you pick the apple or should you pick this piece of candy, And yes, everybody occasionally should enjoy sweets, but it's not something that should make up a large portion of our nutrition. Okay. So, of course, people are going to be upset because stuff is being eliminated. And we haven't even gotten to the part where the white lady was upset that they're now saying, hey, you only have so much time that you can be on this program. And they're also implementing, hey, you also have to work so many hours or volunteer somewhere. So they're definitely revamping this program. So that's my feelings on this. The Bible says you're always going to have the poor. The poor is always going to be there. You know why? Because people choose to make financial decisions that are poor, whether from a lack of knowledge or they know the right thing to do and they just choose not to do it. So let me know what you think about what's going on with the SNAP program, and I will see you in the next video.